what is pre-literacy? So pre-literacy refers to a population of people who have never learned to read or write in their own language before. And one example of this would be the Somali Bantu population. They speak Mai, and it's only an oral language. It's never really been written down before. So they didn't know how to read and write when they came here. They came here for the first time in 2004, and for the first time on American soil ever in the history of the world. So it's been a learning curve between 2004 and 2013, as of this year, to how to help these people who do not know how to read or write before. Pre-literacy addresses the issue of when your brain is between the age of 0 to 13, it's able to soak up language extremely fast. And so a lot of times you notice these refugee kids pick up English like that. Within 3 months, they're near fluent, and it's really amazing. Now, when you're an adult, it's not that easy. And after 13, your brain changes, and the way the neurons connect and everything, it's just a little slower pace. So you can imagine after maybe 18 years in a camp is the median time for many refugees. Their brain has a lot of extra baggage on it, and so it's very taxed, and it's really suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and there are a lot of issues that are inhibiting them from retaining language information. So when you're working with pre-literate people, you always want to keep that in mind and just be patient. It's going to take time, and it's going to take repetition, and that's okay. Generally, I would say with the curriculum that we've created, it can take someone who doesn't know how to hold a pencil to being able to pass their citizenship test, which means that they've gotten to 3rd grade reading and writing and oral speaking skills in about 18 months to 2 years. My real success story that I've had with this, I've seen her, she had a very hard time holding a pencil at first, and she definitely suffered from a lot of PTSD and was also very sick. Like, her health was failing, but she was able in 18 months to go from not being able to hold a pencil to passing her citizenship test, and subsequently her and her kids were able to get their citizenship. So it can be done. It just takes a lot of patience and determination from both the teacher and the student. So it's hard because pre-literate students usually have other responsibilities. They have families, they have a lot of children, they're trying to look for work to support their families, and that's their main focus and their main goal. But they definitely understand that they are lacking education and do want to fill that gap. But sometimes it takes the teacher really encouraging them to keep going and to keep trying, because I noticed it about a year. Usually, especially for refugee women or men who don't know how to hold a pencil, it takes about a year for them to go from that stage to understanding the difference, or just the light bulb going off, hearing something through this sense, and then translating it onto the paper. That you're basically working with 2 senses at the same time. So I'm hearing something, and I can actually make a sign on the paper that shows what I'm hearing. And so that's a physical thing because I'm writing it, and then it's also a visual thing. So you're working with 3 senses in a way, and it's just a very massive concept that many Americans take for granted, because we learned this when we were very young, and we sort of can't ever remember not being able to know how to read or write. But it is a whole new concept to think, wow, what you're saying, I could actually write it out and read it on its own without you having to say that again. It doesn't need to just be oral. So you will learn more as you work with pre-literate students what that means and how much meaning is in that, and how much time it takes to get that meaning in your brain. But it just takes time and patience, and really that's it. It's time, patience, and a little determination. And that will move someone who cannot hold a pencil to being able to read and write these sentences and be able to answer these questions about US civic history and subsequently pass their citizenship test and have a country to call home. And that's a huge motivator for a lot of pre-literate refugees to learn to read and write. That's why I incorporate citizenship into the curriculum, is because it gives them a reason to keep going and to actually learn it. Because they get tired a lot and they don't really want to. So it's good to have that motivator, because they definitely want to become citizens and they want that period of their life of instability to be over. So that's a little bit about pre-literacy. There's tons